Checking back from last week's Mystery Hopper, I can now reveal that this week's brewer is Tara from Loddon Brewery. I'm joined here today with Tara and Faram John to do our 5 minutes with Faram chat. So Tara, to start us off, I'm going to ask you what your favourite hop is.
My favourite hop, that's got to be, I think, Mosaic, definitely.
Nice choice.
And why would that be?
It's the first beer that I wrote the recipe for. It's 100% Mosaic. Big, bold flavours, tropical, beautiful. Yeah.
Is that a beer you still brew today, or?
Yeah, it's become part of our core range and canned. It's our Alfresco. It's our first gluten-free canned beer.
Oh, very nice indeed. So moving on from that question, what's your favourite beer then? Either one you've brewed or one you've tried with someone else, or?
Can't say one of my beers are my favourite. It's going to make me sound really big-headed.
If that's what you think.
Pick one of both then, one that you've created and also one that you drink.
I think my favourite beer that isn't mine has got to be Siren's Lumina. I think that's just an incredible beer. I think if I had to pick my favourite one, I brewed one for the Women's World Cup last year, which was Run the World. So that was an Australian and New Zealand hopped IPA. I think, yeah, that's my favourite beer I've ever made.
What sort of flavours are involved in that?
That was sort of big Southern Hemisphere flavours. It was all sort of like peach, like pineapple, all of those lovely ones.
Very nice indeed. So when you're drinking a beer, what sort of foods would you tend to pair with them?
I'm not sure. It depends what the beer style is, really.
Okay, so if you were drinking the beer the World Cup beer that you just mentioned, what would you pair with that?
What would I pair with that?
No, I'd have crisps, definitely.
Crisps?
Plenty of crisps. I don't know, yeah.
People have said things like smash burgers before, or like beef and ale pie, or something like that. Like it's been very, very, like you get very proper food, as I would say.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, literally people have given answers like crisps or biscuits. Like,
they'd be like, yeah, a nice like bowl of chips or something like that. I assume I'm watching the World Cup when I'm drinking this beer. This is how I'm playing it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Something easy to eat that you can eat on your lap. Okay, so in terms of sort of travelling around the world, have you been to any like different beer destinations that have helped inspire anything, or? I
spent a good amount of time in America. So I went to a load of really cool sort of like craft beer places there. That was just when the craft beer industry was sort of taken off in America.
Fantastic. Was that West Coast?
That was all the way across, so from East Coast all the way to West Coast.
Oh wow, what a trip.
Yeah, that was fun.
Fantastic. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'd love to like rent an RV and then go like along the coast of America, how insane that would be, and like you could visit breweries along the way.
Yeah.
Like a proper like beer sort of pub brewery tour. I think that'd be insane.
Yeah, something to aspire to. That.
Yeah, I think so. Book off some annual leave. So obviously you've been to America and that sort of thing. Have you got a favourite pub in the world?
Favourite pub in the world for me, I think, has to be the Ale House in Reading. It looks completely inconspicuous from the outside. It's on the high street in Reading, but you go inside and it is incredible. It is just floor to ceiling in all of the pump clips that they've ever had.
Oh, wow.
Tiny little booths. Half the time you can never even get a seat in there. You're just standing, and it's a really tiny pub. But yeah, it's a great atmosphere.
Lots of cask beer.
Yeah, it's all cask beer,
right.
And like a handful of keg beers. Yeah, it's like walking into like a 18th century pub almost.
Fantastic.
That's proper British, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's proper English, sort of going back to the hearty food, that sort of stems onto that sort of pub, doesn't it? They serve that sort of things. So obviously here at Loddon, you're head brewer. So what would one piece of equipment that you couldn't live without day to day, or whatever really?
I think it's got to be sanitised paracetic acid bottle.
Right.
It's not the most exciting choice, but it's one of those ones that I think I couldn't live without it. Always losing it though. You can never remember where you placed it. It's normally up somewhere high where you climbed up a ladder, placed it on the top, and then realised you spent 20 minutes looking for that bottle.
You need to attach like an air tag to it, wasn't it?
Do you have a brewery stick at all?
Brewery stick?
Yeah. Not for getting people into that. Come on, work harder.
Get out of here.
Using for stirring things or...
a mash paddle.
Yeah. It's a better than the stick, really, isn't it? It's got a purpose end on it.
I've got like a 3-meter tall one for our fermenters when I'm like rousing the yeast. That's a bit of a beast, that one.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Can you use that in that flat bottom fermenter that we saw earlier?
Yeah. So climb up the ladder with this massive, big, tall paddle. Try and gently get it in, and then it's just a lot of. I feel like a rower almost when I'm doing it all out. I'm punting down the tins.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like a good arm workout.
Yeah, you feel it after. You've got to do it 50 times basically, and you definitely feel it in the shoulders
Yeah, I bet.
afterwards. Yeah.
How long does that take to do?
Doesn't take long. Just do it as quickly as I can.
Get it opened up.
Yeah.
No, that's fab. So when you're brewing in the brewery, have you got any like songs, playlists, radio station, podcasts that you listen to? Sort of.
Well, we've got a massive. Well, you walked in and you heard all of our music going on. I've got such a variety of music that I listen to. Today was punk,
Right.
and then last week it was exclusively sort of like early 90s hip hop, basically. It's a lot of Wu-Tang Clan, which didn't go well when it sort of like blasted out and down here to the customers. But yeah,
I guess it's got to be like high energy, hasn't it?
high beat, yeah.
Yeah, to keep you going,
Keep you
like
motivated.
keep the momentum up and that sort of thing. Do you have quite a small team here? So you sort of quite closely knit?
So, there's just 2 of us in the brew house. So there's me and then my assistant, and then as business as a whole, there's about sort of eight full-time members of staff. So it's a very sort of close, small business.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. So if you weren't brewing, what would you do instead? Or what did you do before, or what do you plan on doing maybe after?
I'm not even sure what else I'd do. I was a waitress for a bit before that. I've done a lot of jobs. I used to work at an outdoor cinema.
Oh, right, okay.
So I used to set up events and stuff like that. I've worked in bars before. I did 3 months in marketing.
Just like us.
Yeah.
All very hospitality focused then, by the sounds of it, in front of people.
Yeah, I think I got to that point where I wanted to, just move back in house basically. And
Yeah, definitely. No, I think sometimes when I ask that question, some people are like surprised me what they did before. Like one guy was interviewing, he was a teacher. And he was a teacher for like 15 years, and all of a sudden he thought, stop all of this now, and I'm going to get into like, you'd always done a bit of home brewing. You thought, no, I'm going to set up my own and start. And I love those.
Yeah.
It's nice when there's a story behind a brewery, isn't it? And so who would you say your biggest inspiration is in brewing? It could either be like a head brewer, a massive brewery, or it could be like, do you know what I mean, the lady down the road or whatever. We have answers from everyone for this sort of thing.
Yeah. I guess my biggest inspiration is probably Jake, our previous head brewer. So he was this awesome northern dude. When I first came up here, I asked to do work experience because I was doing my degree at the time. And he basically taught me everything I knew about brewing, practically. The recipes he created were incredible, sort of inspired me to go try my hand at craft beer recipes and stuff like that. It's just a sound guy, basically.
That's a really nice story, and I guess that it's now nice that you sort of replaced him as head brewer.
Stole his job.
Yeah. So you are now your own inspiration.
Where is Jake now?
He's back up in Yorkshire, in Nightjar Brewery. It's a tiny little one.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where he was originally, and then he moved down here, and then he got offered the role at head brewer up there again.
Nice.
And I think he just wanted to move home. So yeah, I thought we had a small team here of 8. He says it's 3 of them that work there.
Wow, must be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a lot of different jobs all at the same time, I imagine.
I think their owner is also gets roped into cars washing and then driving and stuff like that sort of thing. Yeah.
That's brilliant though, isn't it? That's a good atmosphere to have, I think. No one's too precious to do any job. Like it's all sort of. So obviously with him being your inspiration, is that how you got into brewing? Just sort of by doing it during university, or?
No. So I'm actually celiac, so I can't ironically drink beer. So basically one day I was sort of sat down there, tried the gluten-free craft beer, and it was incredible. All I'd been drinking up until that point was kind of cider. And then one day I just decided that that's what I want to do for a living. I want to like selfishly make beer I can drink.
I guess it's a good, I was going to say gap in the market almost, isn't it? Try and, especially when you started, I'm sure. Like, there wasn't that many gluten-free beers.
No, it's certainly like a thing that's grown and grown and grown. The good thing about gluten-free beer is you can make it and it has no impact on taste or flavour or anything like that. It's just the same as drinking regular beer. It's not like eating a loaf of gluten-free bread.
Yeah, it's like dry and it falls
like,
apart, isn't it? You can tell as such if it's something, normally when things are gluten-free.
And how are you producing the gluten-free beer? Are you using enzymes? Or are you...
So we use brewers Clarex, right into the fermenter, and then obviously send it off for analysis and third party. So we do that for every single monthly special we do, and for alfresco, our gluten-free cans.
Very nice. So how many gluten-free beers do you currently sell?
Currently, at the moment, we've got one on the tap room. That's Black Data, which is our stout. And then we've got alfresco in the shop. Next month's beer is going to be Wolf Cod, which is a sort of quadruple hopped IPA using Styrian Wolf, and that's going to be gluten-free as well.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So do you have any interests or hobbies outside of brewing?
I think beer is pretty much my world. If I'm not
Drinking
if
it
I'm
or
not
making
drinking it or going to pubs or having a look at like different craft beer shops. Other than that, I think I'm like pretty big into sort of like cinema and indie cinema, like independent films and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, really nice. Yeah. Do you still go to cinema? Obviously, you had your outdoor cinema job. Do you still do? Like, is there an outdoor cinema around here or?
They sort of crops up in the summer. They've got ones that crop up all around the place. I think I went to the cinema just in December, watched the Wonka movie.
Yeah.
That had no right being as delightful as it was. It was beautiful.
Yeah, so I wasn't that bothered about going, but I really enjoyed it.
Didn't know it was a musical until I walked in.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that to me, actually. It's a bit of a surprise. It's quite nice, and it makes it jolly. So what was the last beer you brewed?
Last beer I brewed was Faram's Gold. That's one of our flagship beers. It's our golden ale. And then interesting before that, it was Wolf Cod, which is, a monthly special.
Interested in trying that.
Very nice indeed. And just a couple of questions, just to like wrap up the 5 minutes of frame segment. So, Fuggles or Golding?
Fuggles, all the way, hands down.
And why would that be?
It's just, we brew a lot of traditional beer here. And then Fuggles is just, gives all that sort of traditional, like, hot profile that you want in a nice sort of bitter or a best bitter. A nice sort of spicy finish to it.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds good. And what's next for you in the industry? So, got anything exciting coming up? Or
next for me in the industry? I can't think of it. I can't even think what I'm doing next week.
Do Loddon have any plans to sort of like expand this site or pubs or anything like that?
We're looking to, so we've currently got a core range of 6 bottles and then 1 in can. Me and the general manager here are looking to sort of increase our sort of like can range, sort of dip our toes more in the craft beer market, because we've been producing really good sort of craft beer specials for the past 2 years for our monthly specials.
that'd be really
lovely.
exciting. Definitely. That opens you up into a new market.
Yeah.
So when you create sort of like, obviously you said you've got the Wolf Quad, like it's a special and that sort of stuff. So when you create your special brews, how do you come up with the ideas? Like, is it from an inspiration of something you tasted before, or?
It depends on the beer, really. Sometimes I come across a style that I've never brewed before, and I'm like, I just have to brew it. I have to work out how I'm going to do that. Sometimes I come across a hop that I like. So that Styrian Wolf one, that basically came from me and Chris, the managing director. We were trying to avoid doing work on Christmas Eve. So we were using, you guys sent us a bunch of hop samples, and one of them was Styrian Wolf. So we opened it up and we were like rubbing it, smelling it, and I was like, this is incredible, this hop. It's all those sort of big bold flavors, but it comes like you get an American hop, but it comes from Slovenia, obviously. And I was like, I have to use this like hop. I need to create a recipe that sort of highlights how good this hop is.
Sorry,
carry on.
Did sort of compared to the rub, when you actually brewed with it in earnest, and did you find that it sort of translated from the rub to the brew, or did it give up you other?
It emanated like the similar flavors that you got on the rub, but if anything, it was better in the brew than I sort of expected. Yeah, so this is incredible. We did it before last year, and it went down so well, and I liked it so much that I had to bring it back this year.
Fantastic.
Do you tend to repeat a lot of your specials, sort of?
So last year we wrote 10 sort of new specials. I don't really like repeating specials unless it's like a very popular one.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Don't think I've got any more questions. Do you have anything, John? That you want to add,
not really. No,
anything else you want to say?
I think it's interesting.
Thanks for lending us on site and allowing us to do it, and for being such a great guest.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.